just through 6 games this season, where do you evaluate the defense being at this point?
I think we've played better as of late. I don't think 2 weeks ago versus LSU was our best performance, but I think as a whole we've been getting better each week and coming back and focusing on the right things and putting in that work. So pretty good so far.
Lane told us after the Alabama game he challenged the offensive line. Then after LSU, he challenged the defense as a whole. Just for me, what was that challenge, and what was his message, and what kind of made y'all respond as well as y'all did?
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it like this: the coaches, they often ask us like, "What do you think Ole Miss is known for?" When people go in the media and they do these breakdowns and they're saying whatever about Ole Miss. Do you think they're talking about defense or do you think they're talking about offense? We got all this promotional stuff, score from far and this and that, which is good. And, our offense can go out there and do big things, but we don't want to play shootout games, So, he just challenged us to play up to the standard that we uphold it, throughout camp, throughout winter, and throughout, just getting prepared each week for each game and to just play like that from the start and not get into those dogfights late in games that, we feel like, we're better than to be in.
Second year, kind of with, transfer portal heavy and a new defensive coordinator on that side of the ball. Just through 6 games, how have you seen all of those kind of pieces mesh up to this point?
Yeah, I think things mesh quicker when you can see guys play. You build a certain level of respect for a guy when you see him, make something happen on Saturday. Obviously, camp is camp, and working out is working out, and we've built bonds off the field. But when you go to war with somebody, and obviously I'm not comparing it to war, but when you're out there on Saturday with somebody and you feel like you can trust that guy and that guy's doing his job, and we come back in the film room on Sunday and you cut on the tape and he's doing his job consistently, that builds a certain level of trust and brings the group together.
Kind of hit on that first question just about, the outside identity of an Ole Miss team, obviously with an offensive coach and score from far and whatnot. Even before Ole Miss was even in the picture and you just knowing Ole Miss for, as long as you have and all that, was offense kind of the identity that you had in your mind before you even played college football or anything like that? Or
like for here?
Yeah.
Man, the identity was my sophomore year in college was Matt Corral's senior year, so seeing that offense, and I remember watching the Tennessee game and watching that come down to the wire, a big game like that, a lot of points, and watching Matt go out there and throw the ball all over the yard. So yeah, I would say for sure. Obviously, I'd also heard of the Landshark defense and what that means to Ole Miss, but in recent years, I definitely would say I'd seen Matt Corral kind of take the helm and lead this program.
Just looking ahead to your final 6 games, what are you personally hoping to improve upon?
Man, I just want to limit mental errors, play as physical and fast as possible, and just do what I can to help the team to succeed. Like just consistently doing my job, and that's, I feel like, the mindset of the entire room and the entire defense and the entire team is just everybody consistently doing their job, because that'll take care of everything.
Through the first 4 games, it kind of seemed like the offensive line was struggling a little bit, but the last 2, they've really played really well. Have you seen a difference in practice going up against them every day as of late?
Yeah, they challenged the scout D line to come out and go hard, and so did we. And we want those guys to love coming to practice every day and giving that look and getting our guys better. Nobody signs that dotted line to come and be a scout team player, and we understand that. But that aspect of the game is one of the most important aspects that there is. Like, you need to practice hard and you need to practice well against good players throughout the week, because this is the SEC, right? And it's not going to be picture perfect as to what you see on Saturday, but the closer you can get, the more prepared you'll be. So, yeah, just challenging our scout teams to, give great looks and, just getting right with them.
Lane kind of alluded to this on Sunday, but I think it's 3 different times now that this defense has had to come up with a very critical stop in the second half to kind of jumpstart things and come back from a second half deficit and all that. In what ways do you kind of feel like, I know there's some guys on this year's defense as opposed to last year, when new guys coming in and all that, but what do you feel like you can kind of attribute some of that, to? I mean, what's been kind of the change that you've seen, all that, when you get into those situations as opposed to last year?
Well, last year we had a few of stops like that too at the very end of games to give our offense a chance. But this year, a big mentality of ours is just spot the ball. Obviously, we're a team that goes for it on 4th down. Obviously, we're a team that takes a lot of shots and passes the ball efficiently. So, wherever the ball is spotted, wherever their offense gets the ball, whether it's an interception, whether it's a fumble, whether it's a turnover on downs, you know what I mean? We're just going out there and spotting the ball like it was the one coming out or it's the one on the goal line. You know what I mean? Playing with the same level of intensity every drive.
I guess aside from Auburn playing this weekend and all that, what are some of the games, if you get a chance to kind of follow around and kind of snoop around, see what's going on around the country, what kind of games are you kind of looking at?
I'll say shouts out to the boys at Tech. That one was crazy. You hate to see it, but yeah, hard work pays off, I guess. Thank you, guys.